I resent my wife and I don't know how to get over it. Married 3 years. Have a 1.5-year-old girl. I resent my wife. I almost can't stand being in the same room as her. I work from home and she's a stay-at-home mom. She's spent the past years gaslighting me, claiming I don't know how to be a good dad just because she had a younger brother and I didn't, and because she reads up a lot about kids while I don't. When she goes out for a few hours or even days, I feel like a weight has been lifted and I am medically better. I have grade 2 hypertension, but when I take a reading when she's not around, my blood pressure is consistently lower. We have a 1.5-year-old daughter together, and she's the only reason I have stuck around. I'm not too fond of kids in general, and I don't think I'm this amazing dad at all. My wife is good at it and she enjoys it, but I don't want my daughter to grow up in a broken home. I know they say it's better for the kids to have separated parents than unhappy parents, but what can I do? I can't get myself to abandon her. Why did we get here? My wife has a habit where she always has to blame any small mistake on someone/something else. She bumps a toe in the coffee table. We need to change the coffee table as it's too big. She parks under a tree and fills the car with bird poop. We need to get the gardener to tell that tree, whatever it is, it's never her fault or her mistake. Something bad happens as an outcome to someone's, usually my, decision. See? You should have got one large bottle of water instead of 2 small ones because now they're warm, constantly. So now my resentment has got to a stage where every time she tries to talk to me I pull up my defenses by going on the attack, and throw in snide remarks, or tell her that it was her decision to do X, or if she asks me for my opinion about anything I just tell her no point in telling you what I think, do what you want. I hate myself for being like this. I'm generally very easygoing, and when someone makes a mistake my response is usually, did anybody get hurt? No. Then I'd forget it and move on, but she's turned me into this petty idiot. Comment. Get yourself an individual therapist. They can help you figure out if any of this is solvable or if it's really mostly just her. They can also help you through the divorce process if you go that route. Therapy and distance are your best bet. I grew up in a home where every action and word were picked at. Insecurities became anxieties, annoyance became anger, etc. until I was defensive 24/7 with everyone I knew. You can already see the toll it's taking on you now, so it's time to take action and talk to someone. Why are you equating divorce with abandoning your daughter? That's not what divorce means. You're not doing something noble by staying in a marriage based on contempt and petty bullshit. You're actively harming your daughter by teaching her that this is what a normal relationship looks and feels like. You're blaming your own shitty behavior on your wife's shitty behavior and vice versa. You both dislike one another and treat each other like garbage. I promise your daughter will not be grateful she had to grow up in a house with the two of you acting like this. Op says in a comment that her dad treated her mom just like this, meaning his wife got it from her dad. What if their daughter watches her parents together, and ends up like either of you? Further, the daughter will see no love between you. Her example for when she's married and has a kid is be miserable but stick it out in a loveless/hateful marriage for the kids. It's so much healthier to find a way to amicably split with your wife and show your daughter that she can still have 2 wonderful parents who love and support her, who get along still, and are finding people who really love them and make them happy. That is what divorce means when Op fully admits that he won't care for her and would just walk away rather than step up. He doesn't like kids, doesn't know how to feed her, does not want to play with her, and have no idea how to care for her and refuses to learn. He says that his only role as a father is to provide money for raising her. If he divorced, his plan is to just walk away and send a check. Agreed. I'm in the middle of divorcing my STBXH right now and we have a 2-year-old daughter. He has issues with alcohol and drugs, and was cheating on me the whole time I was postpartum. It sucks, but I'd rather my daughter see a healthy relationship when I eventually remarry, than a dysfunctional one where her dad is perpetually absent on benders and smelling like booze. And where we show each other no affection in the house. Honestly, as a child of divorce, I wish my parents got divorced sooner. They were miserable and I could tell. Divorcing does not equal abandoning your daughter, but if you stay and remain unhappy, she will catch on to it. You cannot take care of anyone else unless you take care of yourself first. Can we also point out that his examples of her blaming everyone else aren't really her blaming anyone else? Like if I consistently park under a tree because the tree spot makes the most sense besides the bird poop, then the solution to the problem is to remove the tree so I can continue using the spot without having to wash my car every day. If I stub my toe once, that's a bad day. But if I stub it repeatedly, then the coffee table probably doesn't work for the space that it's in. Next story 2. My best friend has a crush on me. So I rewrote this like several times because it was originally a massive trauma dump. Anyways, here's my trying to be concise. I have never been in a relationship before, mostly because I've never really had friends until I was in college, and then I was focusing on school and then my career, and then I wanted that promotion, or I was just busy. Well, my friends and I were out drinking and I was the designated mom of the group. I'm driving people home and gets to my best friend, Sam. She's in no condition to be alone, so I help her inside and help her get into pajamas and into bed. She asks if I'll stay with her, so I do, and I watch to make sure she doesn't like asphyxiate. She wakes me up, kisses me on the cheek and says I love you. This is pretty out of character for her, but I push it off since she is my best friend. But this is also the first time anybody has ever kissed me, including family. I start making breakfast and she comes up behind me, wraps her arms around my waist, and she said something, but I was not paying attention because she wrapped her arms around my waist and was pressed against my back. I told her I was not comfortable with her touching me like that, and she apologized and said she misread the room. She seemed a bit upset, but we moved on. I've never really thought about my sexuality or anything, just kind of always been on the side of guys will interest me when. And then the when always changes. But I don't think I've ever felt the way I felt when she held me. It was like I could feel my heart skipping and this lightheadedness. It felt like I was going to pass out. I think I have a crush on my best friend. But I've never had a crush before. And I don't want to hurt her. I love her so much. She means so much to me, and if I lose her it'll feel like losing a part of me. But not saying anything will feel like ripping my heart in half. Is this something I should pursue, or does it fade over time? Like, will it go away? Do I come out to her? My friends? Am I even actually gay? Am I just completely misreading what my body is telling me? Comment. I'm not sure there's anything to come out about at this point. It sounds more like you're questioning your sexuality than ready to make a firm declaration of what you are. But with respect to Sam, she was totally making a pass at you, and you froze up in the moment because you didn't know what to do. That's okay, you were a little shocked and weren't sure how to react. You've thought about it, and recognized that you have romantic feelings for her. It seems highly likely she has feelings for you too. Sit down with her and talk about your friendship, and gently feel around to see how she feels about you and your relationship. Tell her how you were feeling that night when she put her arms around you, and that you didn't understand what you were feeling and didn't mean to hurt her feelings. Explain how this is all so new for you, that you're not sure what it is you're feeling. See what she has to say, and how she reacts. And depending on how it's going, just maybe you should ask her to put her arms around you again. Next story 3. My ex-boyfriend dumped me after a week. I don't know what to make of it. We met through a mutual friend and there was a spark between us right away. At parties he sought my proximity all the time and we had the same sense of humor. It just clicked. I do not easily fall in love with people, but I had a big crush on him. He finally wrote to me and we dated for 2 months. It was super intense and loving. He knew from the beginning that I was moving away for my studies, but we never talked about it. What was weird is that at 25 he has never been in a relationship. I was also his first kiss and everything. He is tall and good looking and is also very extroverted. He had dating phases every now and then but didn't find it suitable enough for a relationship each time. Then 2 weeks ago he asked me what we were. And he said that he knew from the beginning that I would move away and that he wouldn't back out now. We were then together, but he often stressed he didn't know if he could stand a long-distance relationship. He has the tendency to worry a lot and is prone to depressive episodes. But the week we spent was super happy and he told all his friends and his mom even. He even booked a trip to visit me to help me settle in at university. I had a queasy feeling about it though and spoke to him again a week later about whether he was really ready for a long-distance relationship. He faltered and said he would try but that he couldn't promise he could handle it and that he didn't want to hurt me. I said that I understood that because I was of course also very insecure and sad about the whole thing. I spent the night at his place that day and everything seemed fine. I met up with a friend and when I came back 2 hours later he said we had to talk. He said he had thought about it and only after our conversation realized that he was not ready for a relationship and felt pressured by his friends to get into a relationship and thought we labeled what he had too soon. He also feels that we had not dated long enough for a long-term relationship. My heart was broken at that moment. But he said that I should know that the time with me had meant something to him. He has not contacted me since. I met him again by chance with our mutual friends in a bar. He got up after 5 minutes and left. He didn't even look at me. All his friends are in shock and nobody expected him breaking up with me. I feel heartbroken. I thought I really meant something to him, but I feel kind of used and like I imagined the whole thing. My friend said he will regret it eventually, but I feel like he just decided he didn't want me anymore. He just told my friend he thinks it's unfair that he is the asshole even though our time together meant something to him. What do you make of it? I just don't understand. Comment. Let me start by saying I hope you feel better soon. I went through something similar recently, thought all was going well and then it was on his side a nonsense reason for stopping seeing each other. I was blindsided. He said I was great and our time meant a lot to him, but at the end it just felt like a not good enough situation. You're going away soon and your studies will keep you occupied. Sometimes unfortunately there's nothing to make of it. One side is left feeling blindsided. Not understanding. I wish I had a better response. The only conclusion worth drawing is that he isn't interested in being with you. That's his problem. Girl, you gotta go do you and live that life.